the secularism of the world. Actually, recently the former Minister of Education in France admitted laicity, which is secularism, is actually a form of religion. So it's very interesting because coming from them, they are now admitting that the ideology behind secularism is actually a system of belief.
Yeah.
So what is a religion if not a system of belief?
Wow.
So when people say, we don't want more religion, we want secularism, well, guess what? You are into a system of belief.
This is the Dean Show.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. We're here with Julian from France, and we're continuing on getting little snippets of his story. So now that you've accepted Islam, we were talking about Jesus. It's very interesting. He was mentioning that because the fact of the matter is that Jesus was not his name. The English language did not exist. But there was a Christian author who wrote on this. They did a documentary, The Lost Years of Jesus, and he concludes that Isa was his name.
Yes.
And this is what the Muslims...
After interviewing scholars from Nepal in the Himalaya, because Isa had to leave his community for many years because it was his journey. So he preached the oneness of Allah in many places. That's why those places have recorded in the holy book that someone holy came and his name was Isa. At the same time that we know he was in the world, so it's very easy to connect the dots actually.
Yeah, that's the commonalities that we have, that for most Christians to know. And this is what most Christians, many reject the Trinity. That when you ask Christians, do you believe Jesus was God or sent by God? The majority, when they think about it, say, yeah, I believe he was sent by God. We recently had a theologian, a Bible scholar in Chicago. She was a blind lady in her eyes, but not her heart. And she said she struggled with this, the attention that's given to Jesus instead of God Almighty.
Yeah.
But now you want French citizen, born pure French, or you're from France, and now it's really a secular country, huh?
Yeah, in one generation, my grandparents used to go to church, now it became... But we have to understand, this didn't happen just by coincidence, it was orchestrated. The secularism of the world. Actually, recently the former Minister of Education in France admitted laicity, which is secularism, is actually a form of religion. So it's very interesting because coming from them, they are now admitting that the ideology behind secularism is actually a system of belief.
Yeah.
So what is a religion if not a system of belief?
Wow.
So when people say, we don't want more religion, we want secularism, well, guess what? You are into a system of belief.
But now you fought through all of that and you ended up accepting Islam. But some of the commonalities with Christian, when we make this distinction that, yeah, we believe in Jesus as a mighty messenger. We love him, we revere him. It's a part of the articles of faith to believe in the messengers, Jesus being one of the greatest messengers. Christians and even Jews, and other people in humanity, this makes sense, because the Jewish view is why they reject Jesus most of the time is because of the Christian view of Jesus, right? But the Islamic view,
yeah, it's true.
Right? The Islamic view is that he was like Moses, he was like Abraham, he was like all the preceding messengers that came with the same simple message: worship the one God, the one Creator. There's no deity worthy of worship except the one who created you. So this love that we have with Jesus, that message, people don't know about it. Have you noticed that? What's your take on that? Like when you talk to Christians and you tell them this?
Well, they are of course unaware of this because they haven't studied the topic and they just took... That's why I was very bothered by this blind faith, because Islam is not a blind faith. It's a religion of reasoning, it's a religion of knowledge. So I can't gamble my life, my afterlife in paradise for a blind faith, So I really decided to study and this is a very big decision I made in my life that changed my life. So the way I see Christians now is they just take it from the parents, or they're not studying, especially the Catholic. They have abandoned the Bible. The Catholic who are watching me, they know they're not reading the Bible, and this is why the Protestant came in, because the Protestant they refused the fact that the Bible was only read by the priests. But at the end of the day, their interpretation is wrong as well. You know, so it's all about trying to encourage Christians to read the Quran, so they can see, you know, the true reality of who Jesus was truly, and inshallah they will be guided as well.
There's a whole chapter named after his blessed mother, who Muslim women emulate by wearing what's called the hijab, and she wore it also. So there's so many of these gems of wisdom. There's so much in there that you definitely relate to, but you got to give it a try. Read the Quran. Continue to tune in only here at the Dean Show, so we can bring you more of his story and others. We're here in Spain with a Frenchman and a Bosnian American. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.